Um, Hello everyone, Architect from 3D City here. This is the second time I'm trying to record this video. I'm really tired and I've missed some stuff the first time. I forgot to add this pin from the data table into the input object, so let me go through it again. So, what I've did. So I've redid the logic in our ALS base character, added our inventory component. Our inventory component only holds a variable, which is the own item variables. Now, the own item variable stores all the inventory information, and it's a map variable, so it's of type name and integer. So name, it's the type of the item name that we own, and integer, it's the number that we own, right? So uh, in our building card from the marketplace, we are casting it, right, to we're getting the player character and casting it to the base character where we have the inventory component and just set it as a variable. Now from the variable we're getting the own items, and then I've made this custom event where it just gets the own items, which is from our inventory data. Because for example, the arcade shop, it's called arcade shop. The bike shop is bike shop. The, I don't know, chair one is chair one, and it gets that name uh, from the item that we bought, and it adds it into our inventory. Also, it adds a count for them, so you know you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects. For some of the items, the count will be relevant, for some of them not. So I'm just calling the function after I'm buying the item, which is our blockchain logic that we explained earlier. I'm adding it to inventory, and here is where I have a small bug. You guys will see it in a moment, where I'm trying to figure a way to update the widget properly with each purchase that we do. So now we're getting the map variable, and then I'm getting the keys from the map. So I want you to think of the own items variable as a chest, right? And it contains all the item names inside it. Now, in order to open it, right, we need the keys, right? So we're getting the keys, and I'm storing them in a variable because when we have the key, we can open the chest and we can see what inventory names we have inside. And I'm storing it in a variable called inventory name. Now, in our um, previous logic that we had, um, it was I was updating the segments um, in here after the for each loop, and what I did is I braked the this is the old way that I did it, and it was putting it was making our variables out of scope. So I was just breaking the data tables row, right? So the data table row of the building options that we have. Uh, I tried to do it into the correct page details as well, but it's better to do it here. It doesn't matter anyway because we had that bug. So I'm getting the row name, right? I got the own items. It really doesn't matter if I got the own items or the inventory name in this situation. And I will go and use a contain node, right? So it gets the map, right? And the row name. So my logic was that if a name from our building objects data table and a name from our own items match, right? This is a boolean. So a boolean means true or false. So put it into the condition of a branch. So if we indeed owned um, the same name contains it's contained in both variables, right? So for example, in this variable in this data table, then it will return true, and I would just connect the loop body to true, and then it will allow it to be added. Now when I try to do that, I've got all kind of issue with the out of scope variables. It just didn't want to communicate properly with the blueprint. So I did everything again, and I did a more simple approach. And what I did, you guys will love this. So from the current building data table, which is our building object data table that I've redone that we have here, right? So from this one, I just got the variable out, and instead of getting the row names for each of them and put it into the for each loop and make a data table row to add them as building objects, well, I just added the variable itself. So it's basically a lot more simpler and it makes just a lot more sense, and it brings like less stress on the function itself, right? Because it doesn't have to go through um, all of the row names. It just gets the name that you have and just turn it into an array, name array variable, and just fit it. I just fit it directly into the for each loop. So the way it works, where is the add now? So for it's really simple and nice. So right now we have nothing. Our building names is empty. You can see the variable is no more autoscope, so it works perfectly. And if now this is the small bug that I've had. So if I'm going into the arcade shop, right, and click on it, you can see it didn't went through. It didn't add it. Um, it was supposed to go directly through add in order to have it added here. Now this is an issue with the update of the widget. I somehow need to find a way to preload this. I don't know if I'm saying this right. I need to find a way to update the widget properly. Now, if I, since the widget is kind of already loaded, right? Since the for each loop already went to, it first needs to go through it to see if it's empty, to see that it is empty, and then it needs to go again to see what it contains. So now, if I'm going to go into the buildings and get the arcade shop, you can see that the loop body went through. And if I press Q, boom, we have the arcade shop, which is what I wanted to achieve for the past almost 2 weeks now. So the same goes for the next one. If I go barber shop, now it goes directly added into the loop, but it doesn't display here. But if I'm going to go again and say barber shop, then it's going to display properly. So I need to find a workaround for this. I don't think this is a very difficult um, thing to fix, but who knows? I hope it's not. I'm gonna do my best to fix it ASAP. Eventually, I'm gonna do a custom function or something to force it. Couple of things that I don't like. So this was just a small bug that I still need to fix. Couple of things that I don't like. It's that I'm running the cast to get the own items on event tick. For those of you who don't know, the event tick, it's an event of function, so call it, that runs every frame. This is very consuming performance wise, but the good part is that this only runs when the building widget, the building menu is open. So this is good, but I'll still want to find another way. If I'm doing it in the event construct, it doesn't work. So I'm either going to have to do a custom function to it, and or custom event, and eventually try to force it to go once through it every time you press Q to open the or your key to open the building menu. Um, well, anyhow, this is our progress for the past 2 weeks. I'm sorry it took so much time to fix this. I've been working nonstop on it. I didn't do anything else. I just wanted to really um, pass through this very challenging um, issue that we've encountered. And yeah, I'm doing my best to move as quickly as possible and do this and just launch this game already. Um, Things left to do. I have to make the save game system. It's not going to be that complicated. Should be done fairly easily. And after all of this is done with the save game itself, I'll jump straight into the user interface of the player and the build menu and the all other things that the this game user interface needs. Um, that's it for today. It was a pleasure briefing you guys up, and I'll keep you posted. Keep on building, guys. See you all soon.